what is the best and quickest way to learn a new track? Okay, here's what I do. Now, everything we talk about is things that I do, that I've learned over the years. If possible, walk the track. You'll be amazed what you can see when you walk the track. At the very least, take a golf cart around slowly, because it'll just give you a perspective that you don't really get going fast in the car. That's tip number one. Tip number two, on your first couple of outlaps in your first session, go for ultra, super, ultra late apexes, like almost drive past the corner and come around to it. That's going to give you a better perspective of how the corner is and how it lines up for the next corner, because every corner you're setting this corner up for the next corner and that corner for the next corner. So by using the ultra late apex, that gives you the opportunity to get a better picture of just what's on the other side of the corner. And that leads into, with the way I've designed my suspension, and we'll get into this in the 5-day, is for super late apex, quick rotation, quick back to the gas. And when I say quick rotation and late apex, that also calls for super late braking. With the anti-squat and anti-dive, we've talked about that a little bit before. We'll go over more in the 5-day. My cars, when it comes up to the corner and you hit the binders, they don't pop up like everybody else. They come down flat. That's because the anti-dive in front and the anti-squat in the back. Because they do that, you can brake a lot later than anybody else. And the way I've designed it is, and when I engineered the suspension, I always look at braking first. Why? Because in racing, that is your best opportunity to overtake somebody, is under braking. If you can out-brake somebody into a corner, the corner is yours. So always look at braking first. Also, with a Mustang, we talked about it being a drag race car. So by late braking, you just extended the straightaway 50, 100 feet more. And with the late braking, you're going deeper in the corner and then rotating the car quickly and hitting a late apex. By late apex, what I mean is you're going around the corner, you've seen the inside, there's a little curve that goes all the way around. And a lot of the track days, they'll put maybe a cone at the apex, and typically in like race cars, you're going to come around the corner, you're going to hit the apex in the middle and track out. Well, with a Mustang, just the way they work, that's really not the quickest way through there, because the car is going to push from the apex off all the time. So by using a late apex, late braking, and getting the car to rotate, and the rotate part comes from the front suspension geometry, you can shoot for the late apex. So where those curbs are, there's going to be a beginning of the curb, the middle, which is most people apex, and the end of the curb. Late apex to me is your new apex becomes the end of that curb. So I mean, that's how late you come around the corner. But by doing that, you're going to find that you're totally lined up down for the next corner. It's when I have people do that, it's really hard to do, because the natural instinct for people is to early apex. And the way you can know if you early apexed, after you go through the apex and the car wants to push off the track, your apex was too early. I mean, that's a sign, because the only thing it can do is either go off the track or lift off the gas to get it to settle and come back in. Well, you lift off the gas and somebody just went past you. So the whole late apex thing is the way the suspension goes: late braking, quick rotation, back to the gas. And with late apex, I mean, you're flying by the time you hit the apex and your corner off. You're just flying. That's why my cars are so fast on track, and they beat cars with a lot bigger horsepower. I think there's a video, I don't know if any people seen at Road America, where at turn 14, that's the last turn before the front straightaway at Road America, I actually had to get off the gas to keep from running into a Viper. And when I finally got around the corner a little bit and he gave me the point by, I hit the gas, I flew past him, and I held that Viper off all the way down the straightaway. This is my 2012 GT with basically a Boss motor with cold air and headers. That's it, stock motor. And I held him off all the way down the straightaway. So I mean, that's the value of good mid-corner, late apex, good mid-corner speed, and exit off. So my best driving tip is late apex first. And when you're doing it for the first time on a track, go super late apex and take your time. Really take your time on the first couple of laps to see what's going on, see where the bumps are, see if there's anything kind of weird. And what's going to happen is all these hot shoe guys are going to want to fly past you. Just point them by. You're looking after yourself. You're not watching them. Get them out of your way so you can go take your time, and don't crawl around because they'll yell at you. But take a slow lap, and then every lap just pick up your speed. And what you're going to find is later on you're going to fly past the guys that you pointed by earlier. So late apex, go gently, walk the track if you can, and that's kind of like my best tips for now.